that's Miss Jocelyn. Recording in progress. Got it. So yeah, my name is Laura Rishell, and I am on Jocelyn's team. So I get to have the honor of having her and her support and build this community of just awesome women who are really on purpose, a purposeful life. And that's something that's been very important to me in my journey. So to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of who I am. So I'm 26 years old and I'm 27 next month. And so I think when you get to milestones in your life, you sometimes think that something needs to change or you want to make another shift. And I've been lucky enough to have maybe attracted and by faith as well, brought in some people to my life, such as Jocelyn, who has given me the ability to see a product that has really worked. And so I'm a skeptical person not by nature, but maybe a skeptic when it comes to health and products. And I gave it a go, because my gut and everything and seeing the way they live their lifestyle really just inspired me. And I was having some aspects with my own health that I've been on trying to do the fitness journey and reach some goals. And just to tell you, I've gotten involved in this now a couple months now, and I have seen a really significant change in myself. I keep thinking it's brain food. So I think we start to realize with the things we do in our life that has a connection to the mind, body, and soul. And that's a big passion of mine, has been to work on that journey and healing my mind, body, and soul in different ways. So this actually correlates directly with the time of my life that I'm working on in being able to make a difference with my mind, body, and soul. And what's wild is being on this product, it's definitely started to do that. So I've been really pretty amazed and I'm not much of a person who's very ritualistic in things and sticks to something daily as well. And I feel like opening this up for myself has actually done that. And so even on my go, I got my little ones to take because it really has been brain food for me. And the way that it's affected me, I know it's supposed to be about myself, but that is what's cool about this is I feel like it's helped my brain and being able to, I don't know if it's slowed down or just go within, but something's changing. And I do feel that this has a correlation with everything else going on in my life. And I will say, since I've done Juice Plus, I've quit my job and moved on to a new one. I have started this business and another side business that I want to pull ahead on to further my entrepreneurship. And I even have ended a relationship today with someone that I've really cared for, but I think that there's these times and transitions and these call to actions that I'm moving ahead on. And I think that this is all a part of connecting finally some of those parallels of those aspects. So a big driving force for me is mental health in ways. My sister is an addict actually. And so I'm really looking forward to getting this product to maybe see if that could be something that's a big drive for me in my life is trying to not heal addictions, but find ways that we can better deal with the troubles that we're going through. I have an inspirational goal to be a better coach myself, whether it's in health, wellness, and finance. I definitely want to be that person who, if I had a microscope put on my life, I would want it to look, like something I'd be proud of and something that I can be purposeful in and really make a difference for the ladies and the gentlemen that come into my life. So on that, I'm just super excited to be a part of a community who is on the same path in what they want for their lives. I think it's a true thing to be able to have community and make a difference that way. It's hard to do it alone. And I'm a big advocate of being a lone wolf when you need to be, and to go within and really find that strength in yourself, and then to drive it ahead with other people who bring it out in you. And so I'm really grateful to just be here and have you guys be able to listen to a bit of my story. It's full of loss and love, and I'm really excited to kind of push ahead and see where we're going to go in this place. So thank you for letting me share for a bit.
Hey, you already know how much I completely love and adore you, Laura. And I actually met Laura through another good friend of mine that I'm going to introduce to you guys. I met her at a health event, actually through my mother. And she became friends with my mom first. And then I was like, Mom, like, no, she's gonna be my friend. And her name is Melinda, and she has been so amazing here to work with. She's really partnered up with me, and we've really teamed up, and we've created a cleanse for everybody to do. And we've completely like we're changing our community, and we're adding value, and we're just having so much fun doing it. So I want to introduce Melinda. She is a QSC, soon to be SC actually. So Melinda, you want to share your story with everybody?
Hi, guys. First and foremost, thank you everybody who's here to watch. It's so crazy when you start a company that is health driven and you start introducing it to people and how many rejections you get. That being their own issue, but it's so awesome to see people join in this call and actually want to change their life because this product is beautiful, right? I've been on this product for maybe let's say a year and a half. Okay. I've only done the business since February. Been on product for much longer, right? I totally believed in the product. Still do this day. I'm going to until the day I die. My backstory is from the age of 18 to about 25. I was a professional model and dancer. I transitioned into what I have now, which is my female lifestyle brand. I'm very much a holistic human being. I'm so interested in circadian rhythms and infradian rhythms and the food that grows in the ground and on the trees and just all around life, right? I want to talk about today. I've come on this call before and I talked about being a customer, and I've just totally talked this product up. I've come on this call and I've talked about my transition into the business and how beautiful that's been. But today I want to talk to like all the mommies and daddies out there. And I want to talk about how my childhood health and what I went through. I went through a lot of massive UTIs. I had eczema. I had trauma from deaths, all these things. Our company has a child study. So you get to order child product for free with your product. And I just feel like this needs to be utilized around the world. I was also, I've worked with kids my entire life, daycare, camp counselor, dance teacher, nanny, like whatever, everything. And I find such beauty in having healthy kids around me. I used to bring, when I was a teacher, I used to bring my Juice Plus gummies to class. And before I'd start my class, I'd give everyone a green one because they always like the red ones more. So I'd say, you have to eat the green ones first before you get the reds. And I don't know if it's because I gave them order and a treat, right? Structure, and they all of a sudden acted a little bit better, or if it was just the nutrients, but I always saw a difference in their behavior because they were wild child. They come from snack time and they'd be eating Doritos and Cheetos and, juice jugs that are just nothing but sugar. And they're just wild and nuts. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And it really is. It's so important for kids who are struggling with ADHD, or maybe they also struggle with health issues like UTIs, like kidney infections, like eczema. List goes on and on. So for all my mommies and daddies out there that are thinking about doing this product, reach out to other mommy and daddies and really utilize this amazing concept of a child study and giving your kid product for free. It's beautiful. I find it to be one of the most our future is kids, and also the education that we've I'm sure everyone in this group they have their own story and how they were educated on diets and their body and food in general. And I feel like it's just poor. It's not we're not really educated in what food is, how we should be eating it, how it should be grown. And this company provides a lot of education, which I'm so thankful for. But the product itself gives you that, right? What you look at the labels, just like Jocelyn said, it has a nutrition label. You see everything it has in it. Those are the main tools of what we should be thriving in with life is food, basics of food, not any type of fads, trends, the way that we perceive our bodies, everything. It's just, I'm so passionate about this. As you can tell, I'm a dork when it comes to like health and holistic health. And I just really love bringing people the same type of mindset that I have. I don't know. It's just amazing. So moving forward, again, thank you guys for joining this. This product has brought me so much clarity and happiness with my gut, with my mind, with my energy, and also just how I perceive money, sale, and like just my inner confidence and self-esteem. I really can't say anything bad about this product. I wish that I could, like, because I'm very honest. Like I would be like, oh, you know, but I really can't. And just like Laura and just like Jocelyn said, the community is truly where it's at. I'm so thankful for people. I travel all the time, but like, and I'm not physically around these people, but yet I am. I feel always very emotionally attached to everybody. I feel like I always have support and wherever I need support. And it's beautiful, right? So bottom line, this product has helped me with so much more than just what whoever brought you to this call and whatever they told you. It's that plus 10 more things. Okay. And also, yes, hopefully I will be a QSC. Hopefully I will be taking this business to the max, because let me tell you something. It's so nice working for myself. I cannot express how I love making my own schedule. I love going out and sharing my story and sharing this product and inspiring, not pushing and selling and whatever. It's really, truly like inspiring other people's lives, because I don't want to ever come across somebody who's just down in the dumps and they stay there and there's nothing that I can do to help them out of that, right? Or get sucked down in there. I want to make them come up with me and feel better and show them a light in this world. And I truly believe that Juice Plus is a huge light in this world that needs to be shined so much brighter. And hopefully these calls and what we do keep doing that. Thanks, Joss.
This is definitely a self-development course in this business, that's for sure. If you really start taking it as a business, I feel like it really makes you look at yourself in the mirror, and it changes you. Like Melinda you changed so much. It's so crazy that that you're talking now, because like when you first started, it was so different. Her story has kind of changed, right, as her journey goes on. And it's super exciting to be here now in this position and be able to watch everybody else, which is, I feel like, even more exciting, because I'm not just doing it by myself. Like I have all these beautiful women that I get to do it with, and men on our team as well. It's a beautiful team. We're the quad squad, but it makes it so exciting. And I'm next going to introduce Corina Stone. She just became a sales coordinator. She honestly has been hitting her goals pretty quick, and I'm super proud of her. I got to actually hang out with her yesterday for the first time in person. So Karina and I met during quarantine and had never met in person, and yesterday was the first time we met in real life, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, this business brings you people that you never would have thought would come in your life. And I was introduced.
You're gonna call Melissa. You said you'd call her tonight.
I was introduced to Karina by a girl that actually is not even in the business, and she loves the product still. So Karina, I'm going to pass it over to you and let you share your story.
Thanks, Jocelyn. A lot of you that are on the call today, I invited to hear specifics. I know a lot of you guys have like little bits and pieces, so I'll try to give you the best of my entire story, but it's kind of hard now because it's a year later. I started taking product March. At the beginning of the first lockdown, I was suffering from everything from being overweight, laziness, a lot of struggles with anxiety, depression, and each problem made other problems worse. So I also had cystic acne and chronic migraines, and those two kind of fed off of each other. A lot of the times when I would get a migraine, I would get so depressed, and then the anxiety would get worse. And it was just a revolving, circle of just poor health. And I'm realizing now that it definitely was nutrition that I was lacking. I'm 29, about to be 30. So I started, like I said, at the beginning of quarantine. I was the biggest critic. Jocelyn will tell you, I'm like, wait, but am I going to be charged for like the child order, like later on, I was trying to figure out like what the catch was. And I did sign up as a distributor customer because I wanted to get the discount. And fast forward to the end, I want to say around month 5, I realized, my esthetician came to me and was like, you have no pimples. Like, what is going on? And I was struggling previous for 4 years with cystic acne. Around my period, I would get like 5-10 huge bumps on my face. And we tried, her and I, my esthetician and I tried process of elimination, cutting out dairy, facials every month. I mean, I spent thousands of dollars. And the first thing that I noticed was my skin. And then in retrospect, on month 5, I was like, holy, like, I have not had a migraine this whole time. And I realized that my last migraine was the first day that I put caps in my mouth. I have not had a migraine since, hand to God. I do still struggle with acne periodically. It's something that I have to tackle on a hormonal level, which is why I think this product and, our team and the cleanse is just, it's a one-stop shop for everything that you would need to get you on the right course. I will be with Juice Plus till the day I die. It's not something that I plan on ever stopping. My anxiety has improved. I don't have panic attacks at all. ADHD, I'm able to focus. I'm able to, build this business. And, the first customers that I really tackled in this business were my family. I think for myself, being Latina, half Latina, our biggest struggle on that side of my family was obesity and generational curses. And I wanted to tackle all of that single-handedly, and I have. My mom is down 30 pounds. She joined with me when I decided to sell on month 7. My aunts, all of my aunts, I have 5 beautiful aunties that are my mom's same age or around her age in their 50s, that are trying to undo a lot of damage that they've done to their bodies over those years. And just watching all the lives that I get to positively impact. A lot of you guys that are on this call today, I've reached out to you in some way, shape, or form to try to get you on board with what we're doing here, and just the movement of, bringing better health to people. We simply don't have access to the quality of food that are in these capsules. And I think there's not one person that we can't help. Every single person that I have talked to or, tried to bring on board, whether it's as a distributor or as a customer, can really benefit from this. And I think that's about it.
Go getter. I love you so much. You guys, you go through this business, you really do attract like-minded people. Like, I'm going through this, attracting my tribe, and it's so cool. It's so neat to be so empowered by each other every single day, and to be rooting each other on and checking on each other. And even with just like different life stuff, like Corina mentioned, we do a cleanse every month. We do a cleanse once a month religiously now, and we all show up and we bring new people. And it's not just about losing weight, because Juice Plus isn't about losing weight, but we also want to soulfully grow. We want to mentally grow our community. We want to see what kind of value we can really bring to the marketplace, to really bring value to help other people. And this is such an educational business, and it makes it so fun. I think that's why Melinda gets so excited too, because there's so much education behind it, that you're not selling to people, you're actually helping them understand what this product is, because it's so simple. And I don't understand how more people don't know more about it. But I gotta stop talking, and I'm going to introduce Maddie. Maddie, are you on? Maddie is also a new QSC.
Hello, sorry, yes, I'm here. Can't see my face. But yeah, my name is Madeling Andino. I actually heard about Juice Plus from Corina. I went to high school with her, so I saw her posting online, and I was like, okay, I was like a little bit interested, a little bit skeptical, just because I previously was a part of another company, kind of similar, but not really. And yeah, I mean, I'm definitely happy that I tried these products, because it has changed everything. I started taking the products about 4 months ago, I want to say, and I've noticed so much change in my body, my energy, my my health overall. I actually, after I had my daughter, I have an 8-year-old, I was very inconsistent with my menstrual cycle. And I would miss my menstrual cycle like every 3 months. And after I started taking the supplements, I literally started getting it every single month. And that's huge. That's very important for us as women to get our menstrual cycle. Like Lindy was saying, just it balances your body. So that's definitely important to have. Now, as far as helping people, I signed up as a distributor when I signed up for the products, thinking I wasn't, really gonna, I just wanted the discount pretty much, but, as I started loving the products, I started sharing it with people. The people that I've helped get on the products have seen huge differences. I was actually telling Karina earlier, one of my close friends has lost 15 pounds in like 3 weeks. He's doing the quads, which is the 4 bottles that Jocelyn shared at the beginning, on top of the shakes as well, because we have the meal replacements as well. And yeah, so definitely happy that I made the decision to join this family and the group of girls that I get to, be with. So so that's pretty much, definitely. I'm excited to see where this business can take me and the change that it can make to my family. Yeah. So Jocelyn, can you hear me?
And I'm so happy that you're a part of the team. And it's so cool. Like you're over in Ohio?
Wisconsin.
No, Wisconsin.
Alexis is in Ohio. we have place. Like we're not all in. I'm in Los Angeles. We're all kind of all over the place. We've got some girls over on the East Coast, some girls over in Canada. So it's always a good time. We all get together. So I'm gonna go and introduce you guys to Carmen. Carmen is also new. She's a partner plus with our company. Carmen, you there? You're muted, babe.
Sorry. Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm Carmen. I'm 28 years old. I'm plant-based. I'm a small business owner, plant-based female small business owner. I met Jocelyn on Instagram. We had been friends for a while. I was really drawn by her energy, her beauty. I was just very attracted to her as a, friend, and I wanted to befriend her. So we made plans to literally just go on a gym day, just for a gym day, and I didn't expect anything of it. Just thought it was like a gym day, and it turns out she put me on to this amazing product. I was actually looking for something like this since I became plant-based in March. I was looking for more ways to supplement the animal product that I was no longer consuming. I personally am huge on nutrition. I have a meal prep company, and I loved when she told me about this product. It really made all the sense to me, for me and my business. So I've been on it for about 3 months now. I've been trying to get my family and everyone else around me on it because I really have noticed the benefits. Since I've been on it, I have been less stressed out. I have a lot more energy. When I have to be honest, when I met Jocelyn, I was going through a lot. I was on the edge of quitting my business, and I was almost homeless. A lot of people don't know that, but I was like, I'm going to just go back to this. I felt like there was a calling for me here. So I've been on this, and I've been trying to stay focused on this. Since I joined the community, though, it does feel more like home. I have felt, like I can relate to a lot of your stories. Hearing all of y'all stories has really made me feel more like I'm not alone in this process. So with that being said, thank you all for listening. But yeah.
Thank you, Carmen. Yeah, you guys, I met Carmen on Instagram. Like, you really never know who you're going to meet, where you're going to meet them. She had said something to me and it was really sweet because the day I met her, she actually jumped in and jumped on a meeting I had to do for a 3-way call, and she kind of got to be privy and meet some of the girls at the same time. So she kind of got a neat experience, but she had told me, she's like, I've been praying for a friend like you. So it's like not just about the product, you guys here, like it's like family. Like there's another girl on here, her name's Cheryl, she's not sharing today, and she kind of said the same thing. Like, it's been a blessing. Like, I've been praying for something like this product and for the community. So you guys really never know who you're reaching when you reach out to them, or you just have a conversation with someone. Sometimes I just like to talk to people in the grocery store aisles, especially now. Like, I feel like the people-to-people connection right now is so valuable and important, and we've realized how important that is to us because it was taken away from us. So it's just something I value extremely. And even before this, I feel like the community really like just brings everybody together, and there's such an opportunity for people to either make money or just get better health for themselves and their family. And it's efficient and you can take it anywhere you go. And I don't know if I told you guys also, they mentioned the shakes. We've got a chocolate shake and a vanilla shake. They're both vegan. I drink 2 of them a day. Absolutely love them. There's a cleanse that goes along with all this product, which is super awesome because it starts to get you on track for a longevity lifestyle. At the end of the day, it's not about losing weight. It's about cleansing your body and getting rid of the toxins in a good, healthy way, not in such a fad diet that all these people kind of go through and put their bodies through, which can totally freak it out. So thank you so much, you guys. We're here every Thursday night, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time out to come and listen to our stories tonight. I hope you get back to the people that you've invited and, touch base with them. And you guys should definitely jump on board with our company because I think that we're the best. So love you guys. And I'm going to sign out and introduce you guys to Sheryl Cortezi.
I'm here, Jocelyn. So it's my pleasure to be here with all of you. If you're joining us for the first time, my name is Sheryl Cortezi. I'm a National Marketing Director with the Juice Plus Company, and I've been here 33 and a half years. I mean, the year is flying. We're already in June. Pretty soon I'll be saying 34 years. I can't believe that, but looking forward to the next 33. It's a very exciting time, and I always love the stories. I've said that so many times, but I really, again, we never know what people are facing. And I think that for everyone, the community is very, very important. It's a huge part of this, and it's something that I don't think we recognized when I began my business, but it's something that we grew into over the years, that we realized how valuable we all were to each other. But I think now, even more so than before, people are, as we heard Carmen say, and many of them, that this is something that has great value as well. Not just the product, not just the marketing model, not just what those things do for people, but what being there to support each other. And as we heard Jocelyn say, these girls are spread out all over the country, so that's, something that is important to recognize as well, that you don't have to be next door to have that community, which is the way I think people thought of it in the past. Also, as people begin to venture out back into the world, and we're seeing more and more of that, I think it's a very important time. People are wanting to be connected. Actually, and even though I try to do it more often than not, and I don't always get to do it, but I was walking in the neighborhood and trying to get some exercise, and people are beginning to go, we're without masks. They're not being required as much as possible. And I thought to myself, and I even said to this little family that passed near me, is that I didn't realize how much I had missed seeing people smile. And so, I think this is a very important time for all of us to not only reach out to people because they're, everyone wants that connection. We've all missed it a great deal. And that's really what we're about. That's what we're good at, is that connecting people to people to people and being supportive of each other in doing so. As we go into these summer months, we go into months that, I think totally could rewrite your whole future. I mean, this summer could totally change your life because of the focus for the company, as far as the whole Blitz program, and hopefully everybody is aware, and if not, get the info from your, sponsor upline, that the company has waived the fee for the application for a person to become a partner. And of course, that has to be done on your new virtual office, which is myjuiceplus.com. So again, be real familiar with that. But the beauty of that, it's not that anybody is going to either break the bank or it'd be the biggest incentive to waive a $52 fee, but it gives you a reason to talk about it. So this summer could really change your whole business future. And you'll be talking about before this summer and after this summer. As I said, I've been here a really long time, and there have been times when I see us just turn the corner. There was a time I started my business in late 1987, and in 1989, we had a conference, and you just got that energy, you got that feeling. And I realized that there was a shift and that we jumped up into a whole new level of production. And I think that's where we are today. So, I think it's really important to hone in on your skills, what needs to be done, what tools you need, things of that nature, really conversations with other people. Make a list of, all the people that you would like to reach out to, whether you have in the past, people maybe that have been in your business and have drifted away, people who you've never spoken to before. Maybe you were a little shy to do it, whatever, but get that list together and see how many people do you want to add to your team in this 90 days, because it is a 90-day game plan with, limited time as far as waiving the fee, but it gives you that reason to speak to people. You want to paint a strong vision, and this is huge. And, you always say, did you see that? And or whatever it is. And people will say, well, I had to see it to believe it. You've heard that term. In our business, you have to believe it to see it. So when you believe it, that's usually when you see it. So, it's really getting all the information you need, putting it together, getting your list together, and really making this summer be the turning point. Now, as I said, John Maxwell, and if you're familiar with the author, John Maxwell, he's written, I think it's well over 100 books. I don't remember 100 and exactly how many. I want to say 135, but at any rate, our company had him come as a speaker to some of us in the organization. And I loved his talk. I was one of those that I wrote down every word, and that may be up now, and I think it might be if you want to look for it. But he did a 45-minute talk. And he just really, I think the reason I loved it so much is because maybe it's because he agreed with my philosophy as far as our business and how we do it. But I'd like to share some of the main points with you because I think they are right in line right now with what we do and really speak to our profession, but also to our company very well. So his whole talk, and I think he has a book out on this now, so you might want to look into that. And it's called The Power of Five, and the everyday essentials, that there are going to be things that need to be done every day. And this is something that I realized, maybe toward the end of the first year, as far as my business, is that your business has to have a rhythm. And once you get those essentials down and you develop that rhythm, it's almost guaranteed that you can't fail. So, well, how do you discover those five essentials? And it's important to note this too, and we've said this many times, but in the manner in which you said it, I think it's impactful. Activity does not equal accomplishment, okay? Busy does not mean successful. So it's knowing what activity, you definitely want to have activity, that's vital. But activity does not equal accomplishment unless it's the right activity. Being busy doesn't mean you're successful. We used to say things like, you could spend all day getting ready to get ready. You could get your desk organized. You could have everything in place. You could make lists. You could do all of those sorts of things. But until the right activity is employed, it's not going to go very far. So let's look at the five essentials. And he gave this little analogy, and I liked it. He said, if you had a big tree in the backyard and you wanted to cut it down, if you went out there every day with an axe and you swung that axe at that tree 5 times, you're not going to cut it down the first day or the second or the third. But if you were continually going out every day and swinging the axe 5 times, eventually that tree would fall. And so he really kind of based his talk around that fact. And I guess that's why I fell in love with him from the very beginning, is I truly believe consistency is the key in what we do. So let's look at the 5 essentials, and I'll go over them a few times. We know this is recorded, but at the same time, I think they're certainly worth, taking note of. First of all, is you have to know what you want to accomplish. Now, what comes under that? And certainly we want to accomplish, going from one position to the next. If you're going to grow in our business, you have that plan of growing up through the positions. What do you want to accomplish from a standpoint of income over time, right in the beginning? What is realistic? So have to know what you want to accomplish. And he'll talk more about that as we go on. The second thing is you have to have the right tools to get the job done. And so, if you went out and hit the tree every day with a big spoon, okay, most likely it wouldn't make any difference. But if you've got the axe and you swing 5 times, eventually it's going to come down. So you have to have the right tools. In our business, certainly, the story is a very important tool, the basis of the story. Your emotions about the story. People listen to your feelings much more so than they do facts or words. The feeling comes through if you tell your personal story. Potential. They're going to respond to potential. So what is it that you see for yourself? When you're telling the story, what are your hopes and dreams, the wounds, the fears? What are you trying to, create a new picture for yourself? Because then people step into that. And that's for both product and business. So certainly the story is a key tool, and it being told often. How and where do we tell the story? Events. This one tonight is a perfect example. Events tell the story. We tell them together. The community comes together to do it. So people rally around each other. Events can be a one-on-one presentation. It can be a one-on-one conversation. We talk about conversations. We are a business of conversation. It can be 3 people in a small gathering. It can be talking about what we do to a small group. It might even be a personal group at lunch. It can be a larger event. It can be anything in between one-on-one and a main conference. So, that have the right tools to get the job done. 3, and now we say, take action. Action has to happen. Something has to happen from an action standpoint. With activity and the right tools, you get the job done. So it has to be that combination of action and the right tools. If you wrote your story out and you went over it day after day, if you looked at all the events that were coming up and you made a list, and you made a list of all the people you wanted to talk to, those things would be important, but they would mean nothing if you didn't act on them. So taking action is the third one, with the right tools to get the job done. So you want to take action, and then things happen. It's not going to happen without it. So let's talk about the 4th essential. These are the 5 essentials to successful business development. The 4th essential, stay focused. Focus on repetitive action with the right tools. Now, focus is a word that I think is huge in our business, and one that's neglected. Focus gives you the ability, if you can really capture and focus on one thing at a time, it gives you the ability to access your creativity, all of your abilities at the highest level. So it's a great gift that you give to yourself if you can really pay attention to focus. Over the years, I've observed many people that were very successful and that led successful organizations, and they were great leaders. And one was a man that, by the name of Larry Thompson. He was one of the main principal owners of the Herbalife company many, many years ago. This would have been in the 80s. And I observed him that as people came up to speak to him after an event, he totally focused on that person. There was not another thing in the periphery of his vision. He didn't look from one side to the other. He was totally involved, right eye to eye, conversation to conversation, word to word. And then as soon as he was through there, the next person got the same thing, total focus. And I learned at that point that if you're going to do something and do it well, it needs your full attention. The idea of multitasking doesn't serve you well in a business of this kind. So people who can focus really access their abilities and their creativity at the highest level. And then you need to focus on the repetitive action that gets the job done. We're back to the tree. Every day you go out and you swing the axe at the tree 5 times, and eventually it's going to fall. But it's that consistent, repetitive action, that focus on activity with the right tools that makes the thing happen. Now, the last one, number 5, I cheered and I even said, I know what this next one's going to be. And I loved it because I got it right, okay? Because it's what I have employed in my business for so many years. And he said, the 5th essential is that you need to be consistent with all the above. Consistency. Consistency pays. Consistency builds the organizations that become extremely powerful, that then grow up into liftoff where they, they're now in control of themselves. It's like they go off and do what you've taught them to do and what you've put together. So if you do the right thing every day with consistency, success compounds. And this is where we really see people create fortunes. In both our product, if we talk about health is a great fortune, because it is, you really can't do anything without a healthy body to propel you through the world. And so if you look at the product, what's the key thing about good results? It's consistency. You take it every day, you're consistent with it, and then the results compound. I'll never forget hearing one of our doctors, I think it was Dr. Doug Odom, talking about our product. And he said, the biggest thing about it is that you would never in your lifetime get that consistent nutrition of those combinations of fruits, vegetables, and berries, and now we have omegas. You would never get that consistency and amount ever in your life on a daily basis. So that compounds. It's great for you the first 6 months, the first year, but then the compound effect begins to go into effect. And it really, stabilizes and strengthens your body. The same thing happens, though, with our business, is that, and he's back to the tree. You're swinging at the tree with the right tool, repetitive action, every day, consistency without fail. Now, success doesn't show up on the front end. It shows up if you stay in the game. And we hear often speakers talk about get in line and stay in line. Show up every day. All of these terms that we hear, but again, that all says success doesn't show up on the front end. You have to stay in the game. And if you stay in the game consistently, know what you want, identify the right tools, take action with the right tools, stay really focused and be consistent, you have to win. There's no other way that it can happen. And he talked about the tree again. He said, what if you had 4 or 5 trees in your backyard? And they were different sizes, but they were all relatively large. And you'd go out and one day you'd hit one tree with the axe 5 times, but maybe another day you would hit another tree 5 times or 2 times. And maybe You go over and hit this other one. Well, you'd never really cut one down. Okay. It just would be too inconsistent. So stay focused, go out with the axe, with the right tools, and do it every day. Now, this I thought was really powerful. And I think it's important to incorporate this in thinking. When the tree actually falls, you don't become awesome on that day. That's not the day that you're awesome. The day it falls is not the day that you're awesome. You've been awesome every day that you hit the tree because you did it consistently, you did it with focus, you did it repetitively. You just, first of all, you determined what you wanted to accomplish. You wanted to cut that tree down, okay? You had the right tool in your hand. You took action with the right tool. You stayed focused on what you were doing. You didn't run around from tree to tree, and you were consistent with your activity. So it's a very good, I think, analogy in looking for what are the essentials. So those are the basic essentials. If you can employ yourself using those essentials, using them effectively, doing them consistently, then as president of your own company, you're going to have a company that flourishes. So now let's look at, and we'll see how long, I have a few more minutes. These five things are essential to success. Take action on the 5 things in Juice Plus to be successful. So, it fits our business model very well. So again, he goes through consistency, and these 3 things are huge, and he talks about them as well. Consistency, of course, we've already mentioned. That would be number 1. Strategy, that would be, using the right tools, strategizing what your activity is going to be, how you're going to employ yourself. And then simplicity. You can't say, well, there's a tree back there and you need to go step 22 steps to the left, 4 steps back, 3, if it gets so complicated to walk out and get to the tree, people most likely won't do it. So simplicity is very, very important, very simple. You tell a heartfelt story about your product with why it was attractive to you, and a heartfelt story about your business and why it was attractive to you, and what are your hopes and dreams about both of those. What's the potential that you see for yourself? Just that simple, no more. And then let the person begin to ask you questions. Now he talks about our Juice Plus company and some of the things that they happen regardless, and some of them you have to implement, but it's getting a vision of how this comes about. So the first he says is that growth matters. Obviously, we know that growth as far as business development, customers, growing up through your positions, new team members, all those things are important. But personal growth is also essential to your business development. I've always found that the personal growth kind of comes as you begin to go at it every day, but he suggests here, and I think this is very important, be around people who are better. And he's talking about himself. He says, as he grew up through his own profession, he wanted to be around people that were better than he was. You want to be around the head of the class, the person who's been there a while, the person who's, has some success. Be around people who know more than you do. This is important, to really look at people who are ahead of you, so to speak. I know as my business began to grow and I was working at growing to national marketing director, I had almost like a hunger that I wanted to go hear every NMD. I wanted to hear every one of them speak. I wanted to know what it was, what got them, what was the activity they did that propelled them to that point. So it's gathering that information so that you see what fits you and what doesn't. And the beauty of our business is if something doesn't fit, you don't have to implement it, but get the things that fit. So the other thing he mentioned is that failure creates the greatest potential for growth. That it's when we fail that we go back and learn. We often hear in our business too that one of the things that can really be almost deadly is complacency. If you get to a certain point and you say, well, this feels pretty good, but you get complacent, then growth doesn't happen and eventually it slides back. So success and failure should never be separated. They really complement each other. When you fail, you're going to ask yourself, well, what happened? How could I do it better? We see that when we give a presentation. We see it when we're talking to someone about the product. I'll watch people to see what did I say that they responded to? What did I say that maybe made them run screaming from the spot? Okay, in the other direction. You learn what fits, what lands well, only by the experience of doing it, and that sometimes you fail and you ask what happens. So he says you learn much more from failure than you do success. Success is after you've already accomplished the skill, so then you go on to growing more. So growth is really important as far as making sure that you recognize the power of failure as well as success. And he says, so really it's failure that makes you successful. Success can limit your growth and your creativity because, as I said earlier, you become complacent and things tend to go flat. And I think this is something that I've certainly recognized in organizations. People will have a goal, say, well, I'll get to sales coordinator and that'll be the goal. And that's great. And then they get to another goal. I've seen people go to national marketing director so many times and I've arrived. Well, then complacency sets in. Wherever you get, whenever you do something that brings you to a point where you feel like, okay, I've accomplished it all, then complacency sets in, it begins to deteriorate. So really, it is an important point that success can limit you if you're not aware that it needs to keep growing, that you need to keep growing. So don't ever take success for granted. Success is an amazing thing, but if you become complacent in it, it can try you for sure. So, and then he talks about becoming a leader. There really should not be, a timeline on that. Like, okay, I've worked at becoming a leader and I'm a leader. Instead, it's more or less, how big can I be? How far can I stretch? How big can the community be? How many people can we reach with the product? How big can the team be? How big can it continue to grow? So we're always in creativity. We're always in growth development. I love that about our business, is how big can we be? And when you do that, you're constantly increasing your outer limits. We all start, and I know when I started my business, I can remember thinking, if I could just make $5,000 a month, I'd be out of my mind. It would be all the money in the world I can ever imagine anybody having. Well, I've been out of my mind a long time now, okay, because it went past. But what happens is if you are continually, reaching, and entrepreneurship is something where people are continually reaching. If you're continually reaching, you're pushing those outer edges. You're growing. You're in personal development yourself, as well as business development and emotional development, all of it, as you push those edges out. And so increase your outer limits and really stretch your growth potential. I love that. Increase your outer limits and stretch your growth potential. So you want to exercise potential through continued growth. And that's, again, it's like, you get to national marketing director and you look around at your organization and say, this feels good. This looks good. But then, and I'll never forget, Jeff Roberti was my sponsor, saying, let's do it again. Because I remember being almost a little let down, thinking, well, okay, is this it? Is this what he says, well, you got to repeat that. You want to do that. You want 10 people, not just you being a national marketing director. You want 10 more people being a national marketing director. So you're always pushing that outer edge. Connecting matters. This is huge, and it's essential. It's another thing that's essential to your success, is to stay connected. Also, what are the dreams and the passion of the people that you connect with? we talk about this sometimes as the why and what draws people, but you really want to be connecting and listening. He said, people are motivated by so many different things. And sometimes it's a combination, and sometimes it's one thing that they're passionate about, but it's to try to locate that passion. I hear people talk about it as passion. I hear people talk about it as what's the wound or the fear that they're trying to, be rid of, what's the joy that they want to push for. And he talks about this. He said, people are motivated by so many different things. It might be purpose. Purpose is a huge motivation for people. How often do we see, and we all look for, what's the purpose in life? Why are we here? What do we do? As you grow, you are looking for purpose. It might be freedom of choice. That's huge. That was a big one for me, and I didn't identify it for years. Is nothing could be more comfortable, I thought eventually, than really having the freedom to choose where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do, and how I directed my time. For some people, it may be they want to be part of a team. They want to be part of a community. Community means a lot to them. So that's another area. Some people want to have that feeling of progress or accomplishment or achievement. And you can have a combination of all these things. But if you can really talk to someone long enough to see if you can figure out what those things are that they want, is it, that they're going to progress through something where they grow in position? Are they going to want the achievement of being able to do that? So to progress. Some people really want excellence. They want to be able to live at the highest edge of their existence. They want to be really the best, or one of the best at what they do. I kind of am like that as well. If I'm going to do something, I want to do it well. I want to learn everything about it. I want to be the best that I can possibly be in what I'm doing. Some do it for recognition, and that can be part of it. It doesn't have to be the only thing, but for some people, that's a main passion, is recognition. Actually, it almost is equivalent to currency. You might say recognition is a currency in itself. So if you know that they love the fact that they accomplished something and someone recognizes that that's of value, then it's huge. So recognition. And of course, money, you don't want to discount that. It may be the main goal. Now, it usually doesn't stay the only goal. These things stretch out. Again, you're pushing out our edges. But if money is something that you're needing seriously for security, it becomes as important as air. And so that can be very important. These are all good reasons. And a person might start with a combination. You might start with one and some of the others fall into place. And it doesn't have to have them all to be extremely successful. But if you don't know the reason, the passion, if you don't know what a person is striving for, there's no way to lead them. There's no way for you to inspire them. There's no way for you to motivate. And he said, and I wrote this down and I underlined it 10 times. In the leadership world, assumptions of what people want is the great mess up. It's the great mess up. For you to assume that people want what you want, if you are to assume that they're going to do what you do, or that it means the same. So that's where the investigation has to take place. If you're really going to flourish in leadership. And I've got one more or two here I'm going to go through, and then maybe this will be a 2-segment training that will go into next week. But this is so important that I feel like we have to end with this segment, is that mindset matters. Your mindset matters. The biggest reason between people who are successful and not successful people is what he referred to as the mind gap. We talk about Juice Plus fills the gap between, what you eat and what you wished you ate every day. But in business, in success, the mind gap or the mindset is the biggest difference between those people who are successful and those people who are not. Successful people realize that life presents challenges. Everything worthwhile is almost always uphill at some point, and sometimes it can be for, the whole time, because you keep accomplishing and you keep pushing the outer edges. But people who are aware that there are going to be challenges and that there are going to be rewards, definitely, but everything worthwhile has some uphill motion to it. High hopes are dashed by bad habits. So we're back to the 5 essentials of being consistent every day with staying focused, actions that pay, being able to identify those tools so that you can put them into action and knowing what you want. So high hopes are dashed by bad habits. You get to the top because you are intentional. And you hear this often in training. I know I've heard this from a number of our national marketing directors as well, is, what is your intention and your commitment to your own excellence? I have watched this over and over all the years. Once a person makes up their mind, this is my intention, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get there. That's the turning point usually. It's when the decision is made that this is going to be where I'm going, and I'm getting there. I'm going to figure it out. I'm not going to, I'm not going to rest until I do, you might say. So he said he never knew anyone who succeeded that didn't get to the point where they believed in themselves. So again, this gets back to personal growth. Once you really have, and it doesn't happen right away. I mean, I've said this even to my national marketing director team in leadership before, is, if I put you in a plane and dropped you out anywhere in a parachute, we'll say here in the US, because then we know you can speak the language. Would you have the skills? Would you know how to go about what the actions are, what the language, what the activity? Would you know how to start your business, put your business together, and create a return wherever you are? So it's only by repetitive action of doing the activity with the right tools, where you're focused and consistent, that bring belief. Because then through those times when you go through failure, but you readjust, it's almost like you recalculate the route. The GPS recalculates the route if you get off track. So it's only through those times of being off track that you sharpen your sword, you become really sharp, and then your belief in your strength and what you know how to do becomes innate within you. And so I think these things have been powerful, and I'm going to close with one thing that he said that I loved, and I've never heard this before. Your career is what you get paid for. Your calling is what you were made for. Your career is what you get paid for, but your calling is what you were made for. Now, if I look at my life, because I've been here a while, and I think time is passing so quickly that, it's almost getting scary. But if I look back, I loved being a mom. I thought that was a great profession. I loved the years when my children were growing up. I loved being a teacher. I was a teacher for many years, and I really enjoyed when I taught kindergarten and when I taught university. There was great joy in that. But I never felt like I was truly awake in my life until I came upon the profession that I've been in for the past 33 and a half years. So if I were to look at it, I would say, yes, this is my calling, because it's what I was made for. It feels good. It feels good every day. Now, there have been times when I've had days when, I wanted to cry or throw up or whatever because things didn't go that well that day. But, those were the days where you were sharpening your sword. And So I really think that for any of us, when you find that thing that you really love doing and you realize you're awake in your life, it's what you were made for. And I think that that seems to be what we attract in our businesses and the people who grow up with us. It is a calling. It's not just a career, it's a calling. So I'm a few minutes over. I apologize for that, but hopefully this has been something that's been helpful to you. I love John Maxwell's talk with us that viewed it, and if you can find it, I think it may be up on YouTube. I'm not sure, but it's John Maxwell, The Power of Five. So I appreciate you all coming here every Thursday night. Again, for all of you, I think it is what we can do to support each other always, to be the best that we can be at what we do and be of greatest service. We are definitely a service-oriented business, and you're always welcome to invite, and hopefully people on your team, new people, let's be the place where people connect every Thursday night. So thank you. Jocelyn, I think we're done.